Students call me Lama Linda, and I lead a Vajrayana Buddhist Sangha called Awaken in Toronto. Many students start meditating and they simply sit on the cushion and begin to meditate. And when they're done, they stand up and they walk away. And they're missing an extremely important opportunity, which is to review the meditation practice. And one does this before you move. Before you ever get off the cushion, as you finish the practice, whatever it is, doesn't matter what kind of meditation practice you've been doing, before you actually move, you want to pause and review it. There's many reasons why one reviews a meditation practice in such a way, but it's a little bit like if you've ever tried to remember a dream. And if you actually flip over, the body is made to shift into a different mode of awareness. And that flipping makes you lose contact with the actual experience. So the same thing happens in meditation, that when you're in deep meditation, you transition out of it into the relative world. You may be in somewhere close, approximating at least the awakening world, the absolute world, in a meditation sit. And then to transition out, if you transition quickly, you basically sort of miss the result of it. You miss the benefits of noting what happened. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to slow this down and how to actually pause and notice. And pause and notice and review what came up for you in the meditation that you just completed. So the first thing you want to learn is that there are 4 primary ways that the Satipatthana Sutra explains to categorize the experiences of the meditation sit. This is often called establishing mindfulness, Satipatthana. And the most common way is to review from the beginning of the meditation, chronologically, from the beginning, reviewing it from beginning, middle, and then into the end. And as one is reviewing, you are recollecting what arose. In order to recollect and review, you must separate from the one who experienced it. And this is a primary skill in Vajrayana Buddhism that one cultivates. And the reviewing of it is a primary way that one actually ensures that this is active. So in the meditation itself, you are approximating awakening as best you can. And when you are reviewing, you are allowing the reviewer, the ego in the relative world, to watch and to note what came up. And you're not confusing the two. So the first category that one notes is form. What came up with form? The way that we often think of form is body. And the body sends us noteworthy things that it thinks is noteworthy in the form of sensations from the 5 senses. The 5 sense doors open up in meditation, and we are tuned to listen to these. Now, any of you who know how I teach, I'll tell you that there's not just 5 sense doors, and Buddhism often names consciousness as a 6th sense door. And truly, there's 54 sense doors and probably 100 more we just haven't categorized. And many more of these are non-human sense doors. So don't limit yourself to thinking just about the 5 senses in the traditional sense, but think about this first category of form as the body, anything that the body is experiencing, any information that is coming to you through any of the senses that are open to you. The second category is feelings. And For some people, there's a lot of feelings on the meditation cushion, and others will say they rarely have feelings. There seems to be a lot more variation when it comes to feelings, and more than anything, you don't want to get too far into the feelings. You don't want to justify them. You don't want to explain them. All you want to do is think about feelings in 3 categories. Very simply, was it a pleasant feeling? Was it a painful feeling? Or was it neutral? Do you know what a neutral feeling is? A lot of people have no idea. It's just sort of somewhere in the middle. And it's important to know if you've got a neutral one. So if you've got maybe you've got a twitch in your feet, you just note it. Oh yeah, I had a twitch kind of close to the beginning. Did you have a sore back? So it's those kind of sensations. Sometimes you hear things. In the middle of a meditation, you might hear a sound, a disturbance to you. You just notice it. Was it painful because you didn't like it? So think of pain in the largest of sense. It's more kind of like the pleasant, the ones you like, the painful or ones you don't like, and then the neutral ones in the middle. The third category we have is states of mind. And states of mind is probably the most important category and probably the one we know and are the least interested in. I often give my students the challenge of trying to name as many states of mind as they can. And it's incredible how underdeveloped we are in the English language to know about states of mind. We're very comfortable with feelings and feeling states. We're comfortable with thinking and thoughts, but we're not very comfortable with states of mind. So it's important, if you haven't really developed this category, to spend some time in every single meditation sit you have, spend some time thinking about your mind state. I'll name a few here for you, and maybe just ponder and ask yourself, when did I last have that mind state appear in a meditation? Have you ever had distracted, exalted, surpassed? Some of these are words that you might not think of, but these are certainly in the literature that we often use to look for. Sleepy, restless, scattered, cramped, concentrated, bound, freed, grasping, angry, deluded, slothful, quiet. These are the mind states. And then the fourth category are the contents of mind, sometimes called the Dharma or the Dhamma. And this is really the field of experience. It is the way things are. As one works through the contents of mind, one often will notice that there are 5 hindrances that appear. And you may find it helpful to go to the hindrances and notice whether there are any hindrances that appeared for you in that meditation. And the hindrances are really the mental states that block the mind's progress to deeper concentration. And these 5 hindrances are classic. It's a classic list of these. And the first hindrance is sense desire, so wanting something sensual. Second is ill will, getting upset because of a noise, a sound, something. Sloth and torpor, that real sort of just zoning out. Fourth is restlessness and worry. And the 5th is doubt. That's that little voice that says, why are you doing this? Is this really important? Don't you have something better to do than meditate? What a waste of time. So these are the 4 categories: form, feelings, states of mind, contents of mind, that one uses to review a meditation practice. And it's so important to learn to review a meditation practice, because one day there will be awakening, and there needs to be a review to know that awakening happened. Without good review practice skills, you won't even notice it. You won't recognize it. And reviewing is necessary to be able to observe and know when something is significant and when it's not, and always being able to take the time to observe it. keep in mind, there is no ego around when awakening happens. And yet, it is the ego that recognizes and names it when it's finished, when that moment is completed. So it's very important to bring this noticing aspect to the reviewing of a meditation practice through the 4 foundations of mindfulness in order to be able to be prepared and ready for awakening.